Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the channel. This one here is a doozy. This is a last minute inspection for the home. Not a very good idea. And I'll tell you what, who's responsible for all this would probably be definitely going to be the realtor. This is a nice height to a crawl space. Let's just go ahead and do our thing and make sure there's no animals stuck down here that we're not going to want to check out. Alright, this is one of these crawl spaces where they built a giant, I call them a knee wall on top of the concrete. They had this like really thin cardboard. Oof. Yeah, something tells me we're going to have some issues here. You can see some mold growing on that. They put on the opposite side of that cardboard, they actually put that vinyl siding. A lot of mice like to play in this place. It's like a quarter inch. You can see a little bit of rot hanging out back there. That's not good. Oh boy. That's not good. Yeah, you can see the vinyl siding right behind that. And I'll tell you what, when they nailed through it, they're not catching much of anything, if anything. But that is gonna have to get corrected, which isn't really such a bad correction. You can remove the siding on the outside, and I would definitely put down 1/2-inch plywood. Put up 1/2-inch plywood, but if he has his place nice and cleaned up, yeah, better call your realtor and say things aren't going to happen. 16% moisture readings on a time like now, that's fine. Look, with the market being as the way it is, yeah, these things, especially last minute inspection calls, you can't, that's not good. You're not doing anybody a favor, especially your client. Let's just sell it as is, and there you go. But some mortgage companies do not accept an as is. If there's a structural problem that needs to be taken care of, they want it fixed. No different than if I were to find a house completely infested with termites. This framing job, I don't know, man. There's really nothing holding up these walls. Look at all that moisture. Holy smokes. That's not good. That's not good at all. That is gonna all have to be taken out. Wow. Look at that. It's like cardboard. I'll tell you what, look at it. They even have now the 2x6 top plate and the little studs there. Rotting. Gonna have to get a contractor involved here. The buyers, I tell you what, man, they end up falling in love with a lot of the houses. Inside, they walk around, everything's cool. Look at all that mess. Then when we inspectors come in and start pointing a few things out, telling them how much money it's going to cost to fix, not good. Feels like nobody's been down here. Single layer brick on the outside of these piers. But I don't think this is going to happen. If they're going to rely on the mortgage company, we're going to need to put a halt on this and get somebody out here to take a look at that. Because there's a big deck on the back side of that house. I bet you they didn't even fix the flashing is all rusted out. One thing this place has going for itself is the whole crawl space has gravel. Not good on the knees, but thank God I wear good knee pads. But the whole crawl space has gravel on it, and I'm a fan of that. That keeps a lot of the moisture below. Look at that. Now, if you were to come in down here without any knee pads and crawl around, I'll tell you what, good luck. Especially if your knees are shot like mine. I wear some good knee pads. Look at that. And that the moisture stays underneath that gravel, doesn't stay lingering at the top, creating a lot of humidity. When I see a lot of these houses filled with gravel at the bottom, I really don't see too many moisture problems. I mean, you will, but not standing water. I don't ever see standing water on top of that. I'm guessing depending on how many inches you put down, but for the most part, this is not a big crawl space. But just by the looks at the windows on the outside, a lot of them were rotted. This house had a termite treatment. You can see all those drill holes on the block. These people didn't really maintain the house much. For whatever reason, they're just probably just trying to get rid of it. They're not going to do any work to it. Which is, I mean, that's everybody's choice, what you want to do. But this isn't about doing work. This is about people just not really doing much maintenance, during the whole time that they lived here. I can see from a distance a little bit of insulation. That was the garage wall. So what I'm looking at now is that's the front of the house. Right now I'm in the middle. Still condensation. That's the front right there, what I'm looking at. That's the front of the house. Sorry about the spider webs, man. They are all over the place. So this installation basically is pretty much due to snakes, chipmunks. Anytime you see a block wall like that, it's usually because I'm on the other side of the garage. That is the garage. And then that front portion block would be the front porch. Sort of like a dirt-filled porch. Once again, the insulation just shot. Goodness gracious. I can feel the spider webs all in my hair. Every time I get a haircut, nice fresh haircut, that day I've got the messiest crawl spaces to deal with. What I mean by messy, spider webs. Just all over the place. And I notice when I'm crawling, you don't see the spider webs as much. But man, they are all over the place. Every time you see me waving my flashlight, it's because I gotta get through a web. So you can just tell people haven't been doing any work. There's some water buildup here. So the front of the house is the top of the hill. Water is probably finding its way on top of the plastic, or it just doesn't have anywhere to go. And that happens too. If the plastic is too close to the foundation, the water will enter in and find its way. That's a nice fat juicy cable. Yeah, I might not go home with that one. The little one's like a good zapping. That one right there, especially on top of that water puddle. So that is where our water's coming in through. It's our water main. Holes all the way around. The vent right there, water's coming down through that vent as well. Look at that. That's got a nice bow to it. Look at that thing. Look at that curve right there. A lot of tension on that pipe. Big old pipe. I don't know, man. I wouldn't want to put too much tension on anything like that. I don't want to put any tension on any plumbing, honestly. But definitely water's coming in right through there. During times of rain, kind of works its way on top of the plastic. And just goes downhill and it pulls up down there at the bottom. No bueno. So far, we've already checked off a few things on the list that I'm going to need somebody to come out and take a look at, which would be that back wall, that knee wall. This moisture. You know, that's up to the mortgage company. It's up to the buyer. This is that crappy. Look at all the ants cruising up and down. That's crazy. See how thin that pipe is? I just ran that electric right. They just drilled a hole. My God, look how drilled all those little holes for phone, cable. Sorry. That is as cheap as it comes, man. I know a half-inch plywood went up in price, but damn. And this was a while back. This house was probably built maybe in the late 80s, early 90s. Look at that little job there. A couple of 2x6 holding up the 2x10. Man, they do no strapping, no tie downs, no nothing. And we have our fair share of hurricanes. Well, we had Helene come up here, do some work. You know, we have little F1, the F1 tornadoes, microbursts, but nothing. Look, they put a little strap on the bottom plate, but nothing is preventing uplift. Yeah, that bottom plate might stay. What about the rest of this? Yeah. Tornado ripped that puppy right up. So you're going to count on those nails. 3-inch nail. I don't know. If I could remember. Correct me if I'm wrong. In my comments, I think they hold about 800 pounds. I mean, 100 pounds. I'm sorry. Per nail. See how they just toe-nailed to that green plate. Man, when I did framing work, everything had to be tied down. The bottom plate, that stud to the bottom plate, the top of the stud to the top plate. All the joists had to be tied to that top plate. I mean, it was just a continuous strapping system. This crawl space has a lot of potential, man. Look at the height on it. Clean this up. I mean, they've already used it. They threw the swimming pool. Here's another one. I don't know. Just not a fan of, and I know most of the material costs, that's barely sitting on there. It's the most of the material costs are in the metal. All that hardware, when you got to buy those Simpson ties, hangers and all that stuff, clips, hurricane clips, straps. I'll tell you what, if you had to buy those for this entire crawl space and the upstairs, that's probably going to cost you more than what you paid in all this wood. I'm not going to, well, pretty close damn to it. How about that? A lot of money. I remember we had cases of them. And that's what took us so long to frame houses. They slap these babies together and they're done. Got a swimming pool down here. That's pretty cool. Like I said, this has a lot of good storage. A lot of good storage. Like I said, nothing is strapped down. All of it's just non-pressure treated lumber. The only thing pressure treated is that 2x8 pressure treated plate on top of the pier. Other than that, this crawl space is not going to pass. In my opinion, I need that rot checked out. I need that water. That water is an easy fix. Look at the pipe. I can see the pipe from here, that front pipe. Look at that bend in that thing. Holy smokes. Right there to the front, you can see that thing had a bend on it. Not a big fan. Not a big fan at all. They just slap these things together. So you got your ladders down here. You got your Christmas stuff already back in here. Good place to store your things. Your HVAC system is off the ground, which I like. You know, your pipes. I mean, that's not bad. If you guys got any value from this video, leave me give me a good thumbs up. That's how I make a living with YouTube. Hit me up in the comments, and when you do hit me up, look at that. That's what mics come in too. When you hit me up on the comments, tell me where you're commenting from, what state you're in. God, I'm getting people from all over the place. I want to know how you guys do things in your place, in your state, what permits you need to get. If this would fly, you know, the strapping system or the lack of. And if you would be, depending on the price, let's say asking market price, would you just buy this house the way it is and make your own repairs? That's always interesting to me as well. But yeah, we're going to have a lot of videos. I think it's going to be a busy year. But in the meantime, I'll be out there. If you have any questions, if there's anything you want to do to your home, let me know. See if I can help you out. But God bless you all. Take care of yourselves.